Back in January, we went down to Florida to have a first look at the Toyota Prius C. We had just a short time with it and thought it was a pretty good car. In fact, we thought at that time that it was the closest thing to a real car we've ever come across in a hybrid, which was really the highest compliment that we could pay it. Now we've had the time to spend a week with it, and so we want to see, is that still the impression that we come away with? Is the Toyota Prius C a really good car or just another gimmick? Stay with us here on 10-Minute Test Drive and Rumblestrip.NET, and we're going to have a longer look at the Toyota Prius C. So, the Toyota Prius C. First and foremost, hybrid or real car? Well, back in January when we had a chance to take a look at it, and quick drive, I think the total route was under 25 miles, kind of evenly split between highway and surface roads. We thought it was good. And really, we thought it was, first and foremost, a real car. Yes, it is a hybrid. It is very hybrid-ish in certain things. It does have the CVT, or as other people like to refer to it as the constantly vexing transmission. And at times, that's true. And it's really weird. One thing maybe that needs to be worked on for the next iteration of this car is how the CVT is essentially geared. From 0 to 25, 30 miles an hour, I mean, it feels like it needs to go down 2 gears. And sorry, we have creative camera mounting in here, so the camera may jump a little bit. Once you get above 35, let's say, it's fine. I mean, it seems to all of a sudden it seems to really pick up a lot of acceleration, and without keep putting your foot down into it. It's just how the CVT works, and it is vexing. That said, you learn to drive and adapt your driving style to it a little bit. It's fine. Fine meaning, yeah, you can live with it. Not fine meaning it's good. It's fine. You'll deal with it. One of the tricks of this car is that you do have to tweak your driving style a little bit. And we'll show you, we'll roll in a picture of the power meter here in a second, and you can see how there's 2 marks for 0 to eco, and then a middle ground that's kind of normal, and then power. Power being a relative term in this car. And if you drive it and kind of concentrate on keeping that meter in eco, or at least below power, the fuel economy in this thing lives to be advertised. We've driven a few times, I would say 3 or 4 different city loops of anywhere between 5 and 15 miles. And we've been able to pull off over 50 mpg. In fact, one time we did 72 mpg. We seem to be averaging right around 53, 54, which is what the sticker says it should be. So, you can't complain too much about that. And then on the highway, we did a 80-ish mile loop, and we were right at 46, 47. I think it was like 46 and change. Which is right around where the sticker says. And our highway mile, our driving on the highway, we weren't shy. I mean, do it like we do most highway testing, around 75, 78 miles an hour, hit the cruise control and let it go. I mean, that's the most consistent. We usually do it on the same one of 2 loops, and either loop works around to be about the same. So we're fairly confident in that kind of highway fuel economy. Now, this is not a cheap car for a small car. This is a top trim level 4, fully loaded, and it comes in at a little over 25 grand. Now, 25 grand for such a small car. Outrageous. Well, yes it is, and no it's not. It's a lot of money for a small car. But in today's marketplace, it's a little more than what a competitor would be. I mean, if you fully kit out a Fiesta, which is sort of an equivalent kind of car, you know, you're talking $19, almost $20,000. And this car actually has more room, especially in the back seat, than the Fiesta. In fact, with the seats adjusted for us, in fact, me at 5'10", 5'11", and the passenger seat for 6'1", I can sit in the back seat without my knees touching, feeling reasonably comfortable. So, you know, there's a lot to be said for that kind of space. You know, for 25 grand, you can also get the normal Prius. And a lot of people say, well, why wouldn't you get the normal Prius? Well, there would be a couple reasons, I would say. Number one, to me, this is a better car than the normal Prius. It drives better, it rides better, it's quieter, it feels more like a real car. It just flat out. Second off, the regular Prius is a larger car, and for a lot of people, you don't need a larger car. Are you having a larger car just to have a larger car? You know, if you're single or if you're a young couple, this is really a fine sized car. I'm not, you know, you can go and you can do your grocery shopping if you need to go to, you know, Lowe's or Home Depot and pick up a couple things. You know, nothing big, but you can pick up a couple things. There's plenty of room for there. You can take 4 people in relative comfort in this car. But for the price, there are some things that are missing, flat out missing. Number one, only the driver's window has auto up and down. Everything else is, you know, manual all the way up and manual all the way down. Also, no automatic headlights. Now, I realize these are really small things, but when you consider what the marketplace has today and what other competitors have at the same or even much lower price points, little things. I mean, really, the auto up and down switches, what's that, an extra dime a switch? I don't think 40 cents is really going to kill Toyota in the cost of this car. Automatic lights, again, a $1 sensor, maybe? It's hard to say. The stereo in this thing. The actual interface works fine. Got no problems with it. Reasonable size. For maybe 5-inch screen, I believe. Sorry, I don't have the tech specs in front of me. That's fine. But even if you're not anything close to an audiophile, the dynamics of the sound are not good. If you care even a little bit about music, the speakers you're going to want to replace the speakers of this thing. The bass is just, there's bass, but it's not a full feeling bass. The trebles are horrible, and the mid-range is very thin. I'm no audiophile, but I do care about what music sounds like. I mean, if you spend enough time in a car, you care. So the only other issue we have with the stereo is that with our iPod, which is iPod Touch, it was funky. It worked sometimes, and other times it didn't. It just, it could be our system. Maybe it's our iPod has been known to cause problems in other cars, so take that with a grain of salt there, I guess. But I mean, we're driving along. We've got the air conditioning on, low setting or whatever, but you can hear it's a relatively quiet car. It rides good. I mean, you come over a frost heave or a harsh bump, and yes, it comes through, but it is so much better than just the standard Prius, where it felt, you literally felt everything through everything. I realize it doesn't make sense, but it does. I mean, you felt every little pebble, and not necessarily in a good way where it's communicative. It was more like, the pee, you felt the pee underneath the mattress kind of thing, all right? Electric steering, it's electric steering, okay? It's not communicative, but you turn the wheel and it kind of goes in the general direction of where you're expecting. Again, this isn't a driver's car. This is a car for people who want what will be a reliable car. I mean, you look at the Toyota's history with Prius. you know, they're good. They last forever. I mean, can't complain too much about that engineering. You know, and unintended acceleration was driver error. So let's just dismiss that one right away. You know, it gets good gas mileage. It drives well. It's good. I mean, and the biggest thing again for me is that it feels like a car. That's the best thing we can say. It feels like a car. We can nitpick this thing to death. But in general, it's pretty good. I mean, there actually is some interesting graining and some interesting textures in here that are really well done. All in all, though, are we going to buy this car? No. I mean, I hate to be really fast on that answer, but the answer is no. I'm not interested in buying this car. But then again, this isn't a car that I'd be interested in buying. Could I be interested in a small car? Yes, absolutely. I like small cars. I enjoy small cars. I like small cars that get good gas mileage. I mean, who doesn't like not spending a lot of money at the pump? So, if I'm shopping for a small car, yes, I want a small car. Yes, I want a small car that gets good gas mileage. But personally, I want a small car that gets good gas mileage that's enjoyable to drive, that's engaging to drive, that I look forward to driving. Now, this car, is it enjoyable to drive? I guess if you get off on hypermiling and looking for the most fuel economy, then yes, that would be an enjoyable, engaging kind of drive. But that's not the type of car that I look for. I look for something that's, you know, traditional gearhead type of small car. And this does not fulfill that. Doesn't mean it's a bad car, just means that this isn't the car for us. That said, can I recommend, or can we recommend this car? Sure, absolutely. Nothing wrong with this car at all. It's actually quite good. Quiet, rides well, good quality, good build quality, excellent fuel economy, price, you know, if you're going to pay a premium for that fuel economy, for that hybrid technology. But if you're good with that, go for it. Can't say too many bad things about this. Yes, we can nitpick it. You can nitpick any car. But overall, Toyota Prius C, it's really the first good Prius that we, as an enthusiast, can recommend to the general public. And that's some pretty high praise.